Good afternoon, my name's Amber. I'm a flower farmer florist from Blooms on the Hill in Budgeree in Victoria, Australia, and it's very cold and I'm going to plant some peonies today. I've got some new ones that arrived. So I'm just in my peony bed. This was where the cornflowers were this last season. So I've got some peonies here already that I've moved. They're all dying back nicely. So there's one row here and, oh, excuse my hand, another row here, and then there's just over half a row. You can sort of see a stick. That's where those ones are. So they were down in my flower patch. I moved them because they were in a grid formation the way they were planted, too difficult to mow in between, and they are in the way. I've created 3 different garden beds there now, which have got peas and garlic and daffodils in those 3 beds, so I think a better use of space. So these are over here and they can just be here out of the way, and this is sort of my front garden area. It's not very tidy at the moment. Anyway, so I've got about a third of this line that I can plant out with the new ones, and another whole row. I can't remember how many new ones I've got. I think probably too many. But before I plant any, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear these weeds, and then yesterday I went and I bought some compost and I bought some blood and bone. So I'm going to dig holes and I'm going to put both the compost and the blood and bone in there. Ideally you should leave it for a while. I can't remember how long I left it last time. I'll have a look, I'll get back to you. But yeah, you should leave those in the hole for a little while before you put the peonies in. So it is time to put your peonies in. So let's do that. Get weeding first. Fun. Okay, I've weeded and dug a few holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've just unboxed my new peonies. So there is a Marie Lemoine, always such stupid names. Dr. Alexander Fleming and Sarah Bernhardt. Now all those 3 I've already got, either 1 or 2 of them already. And then I've got 2 Shirley Temples. I've never had that one before. That's a really pretty pink, pale pink. And I've got 2 Coral Charms. So that's 2, 4, 7. They're from Veggie Garden Seeds. Now they've had a name change, so they're Veggie and Flower Garden Seeds. If you look up their website, it's still, I think it's still veggiegardenseeds.com.au. Now, I don't get sponsored by anyone or at all, just telling you who's good and who's not. So I get a lot of the seeds from them and they're always really good. These rhizomes, they look fantastic. I haven't taken them out of the plastic bags yet, but they look fantastic quality. So I think I would highly recommend them. They are in Tasmania and everything's very prompt and seems to be really good. These actually are really large rhizomes. I've got rhizomes before from some other larger online nurseries and they've been quite small. I don't think it's got anything to do with the size though. They've all grown fine. Just like dahlia tubers, you can get really little ones and they still give you a massive plant and end up giving you a huge clump to dig up as well. And same with the larger tubers. So pretty sure, like everything, size doesn't matter. And oh, I've got 2 more coming. I couldn't help it. I got a catalogue from Van Diemen's Bulbs, or is it Van Diemen's Quality Bulbs? It's who I got my tulip bulbs from. And I think I got some daffodils from them too. Maybe just tulips. Anyway, they sent a catalogue. Whoops. And I ordered one called, another peony called Pink Parfait. The most beautiful rosy coloured pink. Couldn't help myself. I think it was about $35. These ones that I got here weren't as dear, but I couldn't help myself with that one. And then there was another one, which is a new one called Mother's Love. So it was a really soft, pale pink, not white, but just a hint of blush. So I got that one too. So that's 9 all up, and I've got to dig 9 holes. So we should have definitely enough space, hopefully. Now, you've got to put them 1 metre apart. so that's why I've been worried about my space a bit. I've got out my blood and bone and my compost. I'm actually sitting on the bag of blood and bone at the moment. It was really heavy. If it's made out of cows, it's as heavy as a cow. I'm just going to put that in the hole, and I checked my book. I've got a million flower farming and flower type books. Checked my book. I can just put the compost and the blood and bone in the hole and then put my rhizome straight in there as well. So I'm going to do that now. Right, so I've got there's 4 holes along this one and 3 at the end there of the other little lane. So I'm just going to use gloves, of course, when you're dealing with all this sort of stuff. I'm just going to put like a sprinkle of compost in there, and then I'll put a sprinkle of blood and bone as well. Now I've put the holes 1 metre apart. They're not deep holes, so you're supposed to plant your rhizomes so that they're just under the surface. Otherwise they won't flower. Okay. So I've put the compost and blood and bone in there and just mixed it up together. And I'll put these in here now. Some of them I'm going to have to dig slightly longer holes for because they are quite long. But that's all right, we can adjust holes. So this is the Sarah Bernhardt rhizome, and you can see it's got the little pink shoots on it. Now they're not roots, they're shoots, so obviously they go up. They're really easy to plant, and you know, in it goes, whack it in. And so you can see that that's probably not so well, but that's just, there's the surface just below, and my other ones that I planted, they're even just peeking out. So just sitting in your hole. Right, I've got 3 in the ground, so I've only got, can you see, this one? Is it 2 Shirley Temples? This one's too big, so I have to make that hole a bit bigger. The 2 Coral Charm there. The peonies love the cold, so if you're somewhere where it gets really cold, peonies are good for you. They like, apparently, at least 6 nights of really cold. So we actually don't really get frosts here. We'll get light frosts every now and again, and I still find this really odd. We must be protected in our valley. We are up very high. We're probably sort of 400 to 450 meters above sea level where we are, but you come to our place from over that direction and you come into a valley, and our house sort of sits probably halfway up the height of our entire farm. So up this way, way up, am I pointing the right way? Yes, up that way. It's the back and the top of our joint. So there's a tank right up there. So it gets quite hot, quite cold up there. certainly windy, but we don't seem to get the frosts. It's quite strange. But if you don't get extreme cold, you should come out on the colder nights through winter and put some ice on top of your peonies. So I've never done that before. I'm going to do it this season, but yeah, apparently they love it, and it helps them to flower really well and grow really well. So this is going to be fun. Checking the weather, making sure I have ice and coming out, and there is quite a few peonies. My husband buys bags of ice so he can have a whiskey every now and again. He's going to wonder where his ice has got to. It's out of my peonies, don't tell him. Shh. Right, they're all in. That was easy. It's easy enough. Just got to get yourself some compost and some blood and bone. That was just the hardware. That was easy. Ordering them, super easy. As I said, veggie garden seeds, or veggie and flower garden seeds. And the other place, Van Diemen's bulbs, or was it Van Diemen's quality bulbs? Anyway, we'll see what they're like when they arrive. I'm sure they're brilliant. So looking forward to those. So that'll be just another couple holes down there, and in the meantime they just die right back, as you can see. Look, here's a good example. Look, he's just died right back to that. So that's these are the herbaceous peonies. So you can get tree peonies as well. I do have one of those, and it has been in the garden for, it's probably 5 years now, and every year it just gets more flowers on it. So they do take a few years to get established. So you're not supposed to pick off them for the first 3 years. So disbudding them is what you're supposed to do. I've got in here, I have ones that were in our driveway that just didn't bloom. Actually one bloomed once, but they just didn't grow. The soil over there is terrible. So, and they may be, if they were in too deep, that could have been the problem because I didn't know about them before. The other lot I had, as I said, over in that other flower patch area. They were new last year. So really everything here is very young. There's going to be no flowers from me. Ooh, look at my crazy hair. No flowers from me in terms of peonies for a few more years. But once they start flowering, you will get lots of beautiful flowers and they can live for up to 100 years or so. So that's exciting. They'll outlive me, that's for sure. Anyway, I hope you've learned something today. Get yourself some peonies. They are an investment, but nice long-term investment and definitely worthwhile. They're so beautiful. I'll catch you later on. Bye.